Time was when traveling in Japan meant walking all the way. Whether for poetic inspiration, pilgrimages, or just pure fun, the Japanese have always enjoyed the adventure of travel. Travel writer Alan Booth walked all the way too, the length of Japan, from the north of Hokkaido to the south of Kyushu. For 4 long months he was well and truly on the road. The Japanese bullet train, the Shinkansen, is possibly the most famous train in the world. Time was when it was the fastest too. At 240 kilometers an hour, it's still fast enough for me. Completed just before the Tokyo Olympics in 1964, the original service has been running high-speed trains ever since, and the network now stretches across Japan from Kyushu in the south to the far north of the main island, Honshu. In this program, we'll be traveling around Japan by train, and we'll also be following Alan Booth on foot on the road. During the Edo period in Japan between 1603 and 1868, a system of highways linked the major castle towns throughout the land. Perhaps the most famous of these was the Tokaido, or Eastern Sea Route, linking the old capital Kyoto to Edo on the east coast, a route immortalized by artists and poets alike. With the Meiji Restoration in 1868, the capital was moved from Kyoto to Edo, which changed its name to Tokyo. Tokyo then became the heart of the nation, the main destination for travelers on the Tokaido Road. The 53 stages of the original Edo period Tokaido Highway have given way to the stations on the Shinkansen Super Express route between Tokyo and Osaka, and it doesn't look quite so romantic nowadays. However, the character of each stage is still reflected in the local specialities to be found on the way, and often on the train itself. The Japanese frequently buy them as gifts for friends and relatives, and in that case they're called omiyage, a gift or souvenir. As well as omiyage, you can of course buy all sorts of refreshments on the train. Ocha, green tea, sandwich, sandwiches, or coffee, coffee. To find out what's available, ask, "Nani ga arimasu ka?" What have you got? "Nani ga arimasu ka?" There'll usually be a choice of lunch boxes, obento. To ask for a bento, say, "Obento kudasai." A bento, please. Obento kudasai. Hai, obento kudasai. Hai. Nani ga arimasu ka?
幕の内でございます。
じゃあそれとお茶をください。
はい、ありがとうございます。
いくらですか
？920円でございます。
まもなく福島に着きますので、左側で進まれます。
はいどうも。
はい、1000円お預かりいたします。
新幹線、印田を止まります。青葉213号、作田行きは14時18分。
80円の開始でございます。ありがとうございました。お弁当にお茶いかがでしょうか
？I started my journey at Meguro Station in Tokyo. Traveling by train in Tokyo can be a pleasure, if you avoid rush hour, that is. There's not much of a language problem either, as you almost always buy your tickets from an automatic dispenser. The tricky bit is reading the name of the station you want to go to, so you know how much your ticket will cost. You can always ask a fellow traveler. すみませんが、上野までいくらですか? Excuse me, how much is it to Ueno Station? 上野までいくらですか? As long as you can understand Japanese numbers, you have no problem. すみませんが、
はい、
上野までいくらですか?
190円ですね。
ありがとうございました。To buy a ticket for the long-distance Shinkansen or bullet train, first state your destination. 盛岡までください. To Morioka, please. 盛岡までください. Or if you want to specify one ticket, 盛岡まで1枚ください. A ticket to Morioka, please. 盛岡まで1枚ください. The clerk may ask, 往復ですか? 片道ですか? Return or single. 往復ですか? 片道ですか? To which you may reply, 往復ください. Return, please. 往復ください. すみません。
はい、いらっしゃいませ。
盛岡まで1枚ください。
往復ですか、片道ですか。
往復ください。禁煙席お願いします。
はい、わかりました。
禁煙席お願いします。No smoking, please. 禁煙席お願いします。And remember, いくらですか? How much is it? いくらですか?
21,400円になります。
はい。To find out which platform your Shinkansen goes from, ask, 何番線ですか? Which platform? 何番線ですか? You might also want to know how long the journey will take. どのぐらいかかりますか? How long does it take? 盛岡までどのぐらいかかりますか? How long does it take to 盛岡? すみません、何番線ですか?
21番線です。
盛岡までどのぐらいかかりますか?
3時間19分です。
どうもありがとうございました。
はい、どうも。
The kanji or Chinese character for entrance or mouth is said to have derived its box-like shape from an entrance to a cave. Or it may simply have been based on the shape of a mouth. The kanji for to enter may have come from the idea of one river flowing into another, or simply from the image of a person stooping to enter. The combination of this character with the character for mouth means entrance, a sign you can see almost anywhere in Japan, especially in stations. Iriguchi, entrance. The idea of leaving or going out was conveyed by the picture of a plant emerging from the ground. The combination of this character with the character for mouth means exit. Deguchi, exit. Travelers on the Tokaido Road had to cross a major toll gate on their way from the Kanto region to the Kansai region. The area around Edo, now Tokyo, is still known as Kanto, east of the toll gate. The region around Japan's second city, Osaka, was and is known as Kansai, west of the toll gate. These regions retain quite separate identities to the present day. The character for east in the word Kanto is also the to of Tokaido, the eastern sea route. Hokkaido, or the northern sea route, is the name for Japan's northernmost island.
自由席は1号車から4号車まで後ろ4両です。指定席は5号車から12号車、7号車グリーン車になります。ビュッフェは9号車で喫茶と軽い食事ができます。
This Shinkansen is headed for the northeast of the main island Honshu, towards the region of Tohoku, popular with those wishing to escape the stresses and strains of city life. It's a part of the country that the writer Alan Booth grew particularly fond of during his epic walk across Japan.
I spent so much time on the road to get away from Tokyo, where I've lived for the last 20 years. It's not a city that I'll ever be in love with. I feel at home there, but from the point of view of relaxation, I prefer the countryside. I think that, for me anyway, travel is not just a question of getting from A to B, seeing a pretty sight, taking a commemorative picture of it, and then going home. And it's not a question of doing all of those things in the company of a group of 3,000 other people from Osaka who all want to take the same commemorative photograph. For me, the great pleasure of travel is chance encounters. So I like to walk along little roads from one village to another. I'm not big on going across country, across unmapped mountainsides and camping out under the moon, because that way I don't meet anybody except snakes. You meet enough of those in the villages too. The first important thing is to get outside the cities, and it's not a question of looking for the real Japan, because the real Japan is as much Tokyo, Osaka and Nagoya as it is a little country road with harvested fields in the background. But there is increasingly a very, very big difference between the lifestyle of people who live in the cities and the lifestyle of people in the countryside. I don't know of any other form of transport or travel that allows you to meet as many people. And again, it's a question of, even if you were bicycling around these lanes, you wouldn't have quite that opportunity of stopping in at the little shops, of meeting people along the road and maybe chatting to them about their lives. And I enjoy picking up history and geography by hearsay.
お守りください。どういうの？旅の安全のお守りはどっちの方ですか？こちらの方ですか？わらじの方ですか？一ついくらですか？500円です。じゃあ一つください。どちらがよろしいですか？色は。青いの方お願いします。500円ですね。はい。じゃあこれでどうもありがとうございました。ご苦労様でした。
Speaking Japanese enables me to get away from the idea that travel is landscape, or travel is picturesque scenery, or travel is a famous place in a guidebook that you go to and take a picture of. And it's also a chicken and egg situation, because I've largely acquired the language by tramping around the countryside and slinging myself in at the deep end of little village restaurants and little village inns.
Excuse me. この辺に旅館ありますでしょうか？
はい、あります。こっち行ってこう曲がってね、はい、左の方こう行ったら合同旅館があります。
ここに行ってそれから右、はい、
右曲がって川べりに左こう行くと左の方に
五島旅館です。
はい、そうです。
そうですか。どうもありがとうございました。
はい、
すいませんでした。どうも。
ありがとうさ。
A ryokan is a traditional Japanese inn. They're very popular with Japanese travelers, so it's as well to make a reservation in advance. すみません、予約があります。Excuse me, I have a reservation. すみません、予約があります。If you haven't, you could ask, 部屋はありますか Have you a room? 部屋はありますかごめんください。
いらっしゃいませ。
予約があります。抜きなですが。
お待ちしておりました。どうぞこちらへ。
はい。失礼します。よろしくお願いします。
お疲れになったでしょう。
そうですね。
どちらからですか？
東京です。
そうですか。じゃあお風呂すぐお入りになりますか？
後でお願いします。
お食事はその後で。
そうですね。あと1時間ぐらいしてから。
はい、わかりました。
すみません。
どうぞ。
まあ綺麗ですね。これは何ですか？
お刺身です。
この黒いのは何ですか？
キノコです。
このピンクのは何ですか？
赤貝です。
これは何ですか？
茶碗蒸しです。
中身は何ですか？
ホタテとウニとキノコが入ってます。
まあ美味しそうですね。ではいただきます。ど
うぞごゆっくり。
すみません。お茶をお願いします。はい。
Things have changed a lot in the last 20 years. When I was first wandering around the Japanese countryside, a great performance would go on in the entrance hall of a ryokan, a Japanese-style inn, when I would turn up in the evening and ask if there were any rooms free, because being on a trip that involved walking, it's very difficult to think far enough ahead where I'm going to be. It depends a lot on the weather and on my personal feelings and what's happened to me during the day. So I can't reserve, as most Japanese people would.
こんにちは。あ、ごめんください。すみません。今晩部屋ありますか？
はい、ございます。
そうですか。
はい、
一泊いくらぐらいですか
？1万円でございますけれども。
1万円ですか？
はい。
じゃあ1万円で一泊お願いします。
ありがとうございます。
よろしくお願いします。
So I turn up in the entrance hall and ask, are there any rooms free? And as I say, some years ago, my face would have been sufficient shock for the person who answered my call from the entrance hall for a cross-examination to take place in the entrance hall about whether I could use chopsticks, whether I could eat raw fish, whether I minded sleeping on a futon on the floor instead of in a bed. And of course I don't mind these things at all. If I wanted to eat steak, speak English and sleep on a waterbed, I would have, gone to New York instead of the wilds of Shikoku.
表則ですね。
はい。
珍しい。ありがとう。
If I come into a ryokan late in the afternoon, the first thing I'll want is a hot bath. In fact, the first thing anyone would want is a hot bath. And the etiquette of the bath is very simple. Too much fuss is made about it. I don't know why such a fuss is made about it, but you simply wash before you get into the bath. The bath is not there to soak up your dirt. It's there to be shared communally. One of the great pleasures of the bath is that you, if you are lucky, there'll be somebody else in it with you. Years ago, if you were even luckier, the somebody else who was in it with you would be a member of the opposite sex. Unfortunately, when the missionaries, Christian missionaries, first came over to Japan, this was one of the things they most drastically objected to. But still, it's nice to get into a bath after you've washed. You're already clean, so that you're not dirtying the water for anyone else, and this water can be used communally, and you can sit there and you can chat to someone, or you can just listen to the bird song, the evening rain, or whatever. Ah, すいません、今ちょっと邪魔します。I always choose to stay in ryokans rather than in business hotels, which are just small-scale hotels with no really extra services, or Western-style hotels, because I like the human communication that is always possible at a ryokan.
高いですからね。
うん、高いですよ。東京でとっても高い。
これがね、ホヤ。
うん、ホヤ。
見たことございます。
ああ、ありますよ。大好きです。
あ、そう。
うん。
よかったね。
これがアジかな。
これはキンキン。
キンキ。
はい。とっても美味しいですよ。
この辺で取れるんですか。
いや、青森。
青森。
うん。
I find that the experience of chatting to the maids, being asked when I want dinner, being shown to the bath, having dinner served in my room, are all wonderful opportunities for finding out something about the area that I've come to, because the maids who work in these ryokans, quite often old, elderly people, and they're quite as happy as I am to have the opportunity of conversing with someone they haven't met before.
じゃあちょっとハマチの方いただきましょう。わさびを使いましょうか。うん。
お箸上手ですね。
いや、下手です。
長いわ。
いや、そんなこと。
こんな長いんですか。
うん、長すぎる。20年ぐらいです。東京に住んでますけどね。
上手ですね、私たちよりね。
箸ですか。
いや、
日本語。
言葉がね。
とんでもない。The experience of the ryokan, of almost coming into a family and joining it as a guest for one night and being expected to behave as a member of the family for one night. Maybe this is slowly disappearing. I certainly hope not.
それじゃあ。どうもありがとうございました。どうも。どうも。じゃあさよなら。どうも。さよなら。どうもありがとう。
One of the real pleasures of traveling in Japan is to discover traditional inns situated by hot springs or onsen. Recent years have seen a boom in the onsen or hot spring industry, catering for the increasing numbers seeking relief from the stress of urban living. What was once a leisurely pursuit for the aging and retired has become a popular pastime for young and old alike, especially in spring, haru, and autumn, aki.
一番好きな季節はいつですか？
秋ですね。
秋のどんなところが好きですか？
紅葉が好きですね。
どちらからですか？
新潟です。
どうやって温泉にいらっしゃいましたか？
マイクロバスで来ました。
お一人ですか？
団体です。
温泉にはよくいらっしゃいますか？
はい、ちょこちょこ来ます。
どの季節が一番好きですか？
秋です。
どちらからですか？
東京からです。
お名前は？
星野と言います。
温泉は好きですか？
大好きです。
どうして温泉が好きなんですか？
やっぱり広いところでのんびり普段のことも考えないでゆっくりできるっていうところです。
一番いい季節はいつですか？
やっぱり秋です。
温泉のどういったところが好きですか？
仕事のことや家のことを忘れてゆっくりとできることです。
一番いい季節はいつですか？
春じゃないでしょうか。
When I came to Japan 20 years ago, I discovered that the kind of place I liked to go was what you would generally call an akachochin. Akachochin means red lantern, and it's the red lantern hanging outside that distinguishes this kind of place. The kind of place I'm thinking of is usually a place with a long counter rather than a table.
いらっしゃいませ。どうぞ。
ビールください。
ビールを。はい、わかりました。少しどちらからいらっしゃいました？
今日は弘前からです。
そうですか。
ずっと歩いてますけど。
おお、弘前をですか？はい。ああ、どうぞ。どちらの国の方で？
国はイギリスです。
あ、イギリスですか。いや、素晴らしいお国ですね。
行ったことありますか？
ありますよ。
あ、本当？
ロンドンとストラットフォードアポンネーボン。
ストラットフォードアポンネーボン。
いやー、大変に素晴らしい日本語ですよ。
恐れ入ります。
日本語上手ですね。
いや、そんなことないですよ。まだ下手。
いえ、とても上手です。
When I came to Japan, I made an effort simply to go out and meet strangers. I used, after work every evening, to go to the same bar. They are the places where people go to relax after work, to have a few drinks, where people really do unwind, and where, as regards conversing with strangers, you're likely to get the most input and the most benefits from if you're trying to practice language.